Welcome to Tzu Chi This Week. I'm Margaret Lin. Thank you for joining us. Tzu Chi Indonesia Chapter implements a relief program to help poor residents in Jakarta rebuild their homes. Tzu Chi volunteers in China and Malaysia work into different campuses to promote environmental protection. A successfully matched bone marrow stem cell donor gave a teacher a second chance at life. Tzu Chi Indonesia Chapter started a relief program to rebuild homes for impoverished residents in Pademangan, Jakarta. Among the recipients of the program is Marcus. With the help of Tzu Chi, he was able to not only expand his business, but also put his 5 children through high school.
The photo shows Marcus' previous home. He repaired tires on the first floor, but the rain could cause flooding and interrupted his business.
Before the house was rebuilt, we were poor and our living environment was bad too. If it rained, it would cause flooding at the door, and I couldn't work.
Pademangan, Jakarta was a Tzu Chi relief plan area, and in 2014, Marcus was included in the relief plan, so Tzu Chi rebuilt his home.
I'm glad that we could help Marcus' home. His home is better now. It doesn't flood much like before.
I'm very grateful that the volunteers are willing to take time helping me.
Marcus' daily routine includes repairing motorcycles and bicycles at home. As more jobs are coming, so are his incomes. Thus, he was able to put his 5 children through high school. In addition to rebuilding their homes, Tzu Chi also hosts charity sales and free clinics to take care of health and lives of people in Pademangan.
These relief projects also benefited impoverished families in Bogor. Volunteers work with local governments in Jakarta village to help 38 households rebuild their homes. Let's take a look.
This couple farms in addition to making bamboo dustpans and hats. Despite being busy working every day, their daily income is less than $2.
I make bamboo hats every day, earning less than $1. My husband and I earn less than $2 every day, and we can only buy 2 liters of rice.
With such low income, the couple cannot afford to reconstruct their dilapidated house. Therefore, they are afraid of rain at night.
Since our house is shabby, if it rains at night, we get wet. It is better to rain in the daytime, as we can find a shelter. We are also afraid the house might collapse.
Api and his family also live in a dilapidated house. Oftentimes, snakes and scorpions will come into their house.
The situation is like what you are saying. There's nothing I can do. Many snakes crawl in here, and there are a lot of scorpions. I can only pray that they bite me instead of the kids.
Api feels helpless, not because he does not want to work hard to support the family. The fact is his income as motorcycle rider is quite meager.
I do not take my passengers to places that are far because my motorcycle breaks down often. I also do odd jobs at the market or clean gutters.
In Bogor, city volunteers have discovered 38 households who face the same problem and started a construction plan to help them.
I feel at ease and no longer worry about rain. I feel comfortable even sleeping on the floor.
We encountered difficulties during the construction process. To complete this project, Tzu Chi volunteers had to work with the village chief, the military, and the people we are helping.
After 4 months, the new houses are completed. As the residents receive the keys to these houses, they beam with joy, ready to start a new chapter of their lives.
Environmental protection is an important lesson for everyone. In China, some elementary school students work hard on their school's first recycling day, while in Taiwan, some university students went to a recycling station to help source recyclables.
Despite the heat, the new students at Taipei University of Marine Technology have come to the recycling station to help out with the recycling.
We heard about recycling, but I did not know that recycling can be done in such detail.
The recycled paper is separated into colored and black and white ones. They cannot be placed together, so the next processor can do it more conveniently.
Students are young and we should let them know about the importance of recycling. This way they will know how to protect planet Earth.
Meanwhile, in Changsha of China, Langli Township was devastated by floods in July. Now the residents have some new thoughts.
I've proposed to our leader that after Langli was flooded, we should raise the awareness of our residents in terms of environmental protection and helping the poor.
This day is the first recycling day at Longhua Primary School.
We humans rely on the earth, so we should learn to cherish it.
After recycling, the recyclables on the playground have higher values now. The school has decided to donate the money made from selling recyclables to Tzu Chi. After the floods, people have become more aware of the importance of environmental protection.
Also about environmental protection, Tzu Chi volunteers walk into different campuses in Jiangsu's Wuxi and Malaysia's Pontian to promote recycling. Let's join them there.
Let's say it together. Rule 1, use a handkerchief. Rule 2, do not use plastic bags. Yes, that's right. Use reusable shopping bags, not disposable bags.
Wuxi Tzu Chi recycling volunteers have visited 9 schools to promote environmental protection. 10 parent and teacher association members take it upon themselves to further encourage everyone to heed this call.
Let's protect our forest, our animals, and become parents who safeguard planet Earth.
Turning recyclables into something more useful, the young and old come together to protect Mother Earth. It's the annual environmental event for Malaysia's Pontian district, where Tzu are recycling ambassadors and help promote such recycling ideals to younger students. Fun reusable shopping bag projects, sorting recyclables, and videos. The 2-day course is filled with conservation values, which the children can take home with them to their parents' delight.
I hope my daughter can take what she's learned here and spread it to her school.
What we've learned here is fun things. We can reuse them and turn it into something more useful. This way, we don't need to waste money to buy new things.
This green fashion trend has the elementary students ahead of the pack, doing their part for Mother Earth.
Since October 1st is an International Day of Older Persons, Tzu Chi Singapore chapter was invited by Singapore National Council of Social Service to hold the Seniors Give Thanks campaign. Among the participants was Lee Ge-po, who wanted to use this occasion to thank a TCM daughter who has helped her. With the assistance of volunteers, Lee was able to meet her life benefactor.
Although Lee Ge-po, a Tzu Chi care recipient, walks with some difficulty, she still goes to the recycling station every month to do recycling. 3 years ago, Tzu Chi volunteers went to her home and reduced her financial burden, and also gave her a channel to express her anxiety.
She used to stay at home because of her food pain. I felt she needed someone's company.
Volunteers' company opened her mind, but she is still very concerned about someone.
所以我很感恩他帮我很大的忙。
所以你一直都想要找到他。
我就很想看到他。
There was one Tzu Chi brother in my community, and I asked him if he knew this doctor. He immediately recalled someone who lived in the eastern area. Then we arranged a meeting for both of them.
让他们见面哦。
On this International Day for the Older Persons, the volunteers brought Lee a big surprise. They brought Dr. Lim Hee Huang, who gave her acupuncture and also brought her to Tzu Chi to her home.
I didn't know she'd come today. Thank you very much for this great help. I'm happy that Dr. Lim came to see me.
Back then, I saw her toiling very hard. Normally, an acupuncture session is 20 minutes, but I let her lie down for 30 or 45 minutes so she could rest. Then I told her to call Tzu Chi, and she really did, and accepted Tzu Chi's help.
On this behalf, one volunteer writes down on the card her years of thoughts of gratitude to Dr. Lim, and Lee can no longer hold back her tears.
In our next report, we look at the story of a successful bone marrow stem cell pairing. Wu Weichen used to live a vicious life. However, he has quit his bad living habits in order to donate healthy stem cells for the needy. His stem cell transplant recipient is a high school teacher, Li Jintian. Right after Li fulfilled his wish of pursuing higher education, he was diagnosed with aplastic anemia. Thanks to Mr. Wu's stem cell donation, Mr. Li was able to live a healthier life.
Making classroom rounds from time to time.
找时间来找我，我要给你们那个相关的自修啦。
And solving the students' problems at any time and anywhere. Mr. Li Jintian is a popular Chinese teacher at Lugan Senior High School.
就没有压力，然后也很幽默，很享受在国文课，真的超好那种，很 nice。
However, he didn't used to be humorous and optimistic.
身体健康以后，你看。
After I regained health, I became happier and more optimistic. I used to think that I can overcome any difficulties. It was until that time I realized how limited the human strength is.
As Mr. Li had to receive blood transfusion regularly, from once every 4 weeks to once a week, he then thought about undergoing stem cell transplants.
I never thought that I could find a match so quickly. He told me I had received a successful pairing.
However, the match result was not perfect.
Although it's a big risk, I still want to undergo transplant because this is a precious opportunity.
Luckily, there was almost no exclusion reaction in his body after going through transplants.
Unlike most people, he didn't need to take the medicine after transplant surgery because there was no exclusion phenomenon.
My stem cell donor had great love to help a person he didn't know. I'm deeply moved by his dedication.
The person Mr. Li is referring to is the stem cell donor, Wu Weichen, who lives in Taipei.
Many of my friends told me that donating stem cells would not do good to my health. I said I would never know the consequence if I didn't give it a try. I thought the donation wouldn't affect my health, so I gave it a try.
To donate healthy stem cells, Mr. Wu, who has been addicted to alcohol and cigarettes for over 20 years, has been working hard to quit these bad habits.
I've been quitting smoking for many times, but I still couldn't give up smoking.
He drank 24 bottles of beer every day. He drank beer as water. When I asked him to quit alcohol and cigarettes, he told me it's impossible.
It was because of this special cause that I was able to quit smoking and drinking successfully.
When talking about past experiences, Wu's wife cannot hide her happiness as Wu has turned from a dominant man into a considerate man. Their son is the best witness to this change.
He usually went out to play mahjong or drank alcohol at home, and he was hot-headed.
For many times I shed tears because life became very hard after I married my husband.
Because of the stem cell donation, Wu has not only saved a person's life, but also made his life more meaningful.
Let nature take its course. Before I could save the person, I saved myself.
Stem cell donor Wu Wei-chen and stem cell transplant recipients Li Jingtian didn't know each other before, but the donor's love has bonded them closely.
I
have thought about it for many times, but it seems that I still cannot express my gratitude to the donor with words. His donation gives me a second chance at life.
就给我一个重新的人生。我实在不知道如何感谢你，但是我只能说谢谢。
抱一个好了，好不好？来。
Since most of TIMA's clinics are held indoors, some important factors should be taken into consideration, such as protecting the patient's privacy and bringing important equipment to limited space. Furthermore, keeping stable water and electricity is also the duty of volunteers. Follow our report as we learn how TIMA overcome these challenges.
This once-a-year clinic brings health workers and volunteers to a courtyard in front of Tai Mali's Sun Anfu Temple. Traditional Chinese medicine, dentistry, internal medicine, and surgery are 6 different treatment lines which need to be built from scratch in less than 1 hour. While the work needs to be done quickly, and soon everyone faces this question. Even in familiar venues, setting up these clinics can be a major test, with volunteers needing to rely upon wisdom and experience.
In remote areas, there's a problem with power and some have no water. We basically have these 2 major problems.
This volunteer with 10 years of experience already knows to bring a backup generator. With Tzu Chi offering medical services for 45 years, from Hualien to the rest of the world, they have accumulated a wealth of experience. Using a rock to aid in medical treatment in 1993 in Ethiopia was TIMA's inspiration to stepping into the field of international medicine. Using cardboard as splints and even tree branches to have IVs, these desolate locations pose a major challenge for medical care.
To perform surgery in other countries is already very difficult, let alone those who we have no diplomatic relations with.
But overcoming these challenges is not just something in the past. Here, volunteers are carefully confirming voltage because this is Sri Lanka. Up until now, water shortages are still common.
Doctors need water. Operating rooms as well as dental clinics cannot be short of water, so we need to provide him with a sink.
To treat those with little access to medicine, performing surgery on the spot is something that is essential. Putting up curtains and cleaning this area and ensuring clean water and power is essential for this operating room, which needs to be set up before work can start.
We go everywhere to find the equipment that we need. Sometimes we can't find it, such as nail guns, which we couldn't find, as well as safety belts. This area lags behind and they don't use these items.
Team of volunteers around the world work to overcome these challenges by prepping equipment and using ingenuity to host these free clinics.
While medical equipment is getting more convenient and easier to carry and use, TIMA's technical volunteers become very important at our free clinics. Besides ensuring water and electrical supply, these volunteers also provide on-site standby duty in case maintenance is needed.
Each person here is a technical specialist. They form a special team to fix medical equipment and support TIMA's free medical clinics.
这台气好啊，这台顶礼拜气好就爱用。
Tzu Chi Shuanghe Liaison Office has a number of volunteers focusing on the suitcase, which they nicknamed 007, which is a portable dentistry equipment. The original equipment is quite large, but like Dorman's magic box, everything has been shrunk in size. These volunteers are disinfecting this equipment and spending time fixing it. This damaged dental machinery from Iran was sent to Taipei for these volunteers to maintain and care for. Just like dismantling a toy or a soldier taking apart a rifle to clean it, few know how to clean this dental equipment, as it can be quite challenging. After it is done, it is quickly transported to the free clinic.
In general, when we do a clinic at the train station, people may bring their luggage. If people walk on it, there's no problem. But when they drag their luggage, it could cause problems. For this reason, we don't just put these cords on the ground, as we need to follow the wall or the pipes or have a special protective coating when fixing it to the ground.
These free clinics rely upon volunteers to do some special preparatory work to allow the free clinic to take place. Everywhere one looks, electricity is needed, though bringing it here can take a lot of work, as not every clinic is so easy to set up.
When we do outdoor clinics, we may need to bring out our own generators or make other preparations before we go. Prior to some free clinics, we go out a little earlier and test the voltage.
If there is not enough electricity, we bring our own generator and test the voltage and then work with the electrical box to change the position of the clinic. Sometimes we need to prepare long extension cords, and we need to know how many to bring and prepare.
The location of clinics can lead to problems that need to be overcome, and some other activities are needed to make the clinic more comfortable, such as cleaning, disinfecting equipment, and other duties.
We need to provide oxygen and sterilization equipment. This is why we need these 6 tubes and these 2 ultraviolet lights and ensure the air is clean. It was only later that I learned other clinics are not so professional.
Care is part of their professionalism, as every clinic needs to be complete, as the group works together like a team.
If you can't do it, then having someone to replace you is good, which means the more people, the better. We don't want to just rely upon one person, as it is best if everyone is involved.
Despite the occasional shortage of supplies, volunteers quickly work and learn from the spirit of Leslie Mackay to use alternative materials. In their eyes, nothing is impossible. There are only infinite possibilities.
Compared to our clinic, the equipment is a little worse, but we are outside doing a free clinic, and these volunteers have worked very hard. So if I simply ask them for something, they will come over and set it up.
For patients waiting to see a doctor for treatment, volunteers operate in the background, providing technical services and their accumulated knowledge to ensure that the clinic is well executed.
Raiden's monthly magazine held a photography exhibition at a school in Kaohsiung, Taiwan. Besides appreciating beautiful photos, the students also learned to make puff rice from the activities Tzu Chi volunteers organize. See you next week.